matchup between these two teams. And one of the things that I wanted to just kind of highlight once again was NRG and how fantastically they play these rotations, how patient they are, and how well they execute. But SOR have been able to match them in that time and time again, to the point where they were able to steal away that first map. Can they turn this one around? This is, of course, a best of 3, so there is every possibility for them to snake home this win and knock NRG out of this qualifier entirely.
I mean, absolutely. Of course, you only have one life here. This is a single elimination tournament, as what we saw
Did
of
you just say
Cloud9
you
White
only
being
live
knocked
once?
out. Yeah, pretty much. You only live once in this tournament. And talking about you only live once, everyone only has one life in a round, as we see no Sage in these rosters, which is to be expected, of course. And NRG, only one player pushing up B. Som not able to find the shot into Chemicals as he pushes quite wide. Classic Sova having to back off as they do have him in their sights. Boombot from Nature finding daps as he swaps over to Raze compared to the Reyna in Haven. And all means Nature is a player that you definitely want to watch. What an aggressive push here from NRG. Finding 3, KOLER of course falls, but it's good enough, and Nature almost actually turns the round around. Ring a rosy, but eeiu closes that one out.
Yeah, somebody needs to take a trip to a fair and experience the Ferris wheel, because I feel like that's what we call a Freudian slip, right? That's the thing that's actually on your mind. So you clearly just want to go out and have some fun and, you know, play it in an amusement park. But this is not the time for games, all right? This is the time for esports. This is not a game. This is war. And NRG are coming into this battle. They have forced up so hard with eeiu and KOLER here. They're investing so much into them while the rest of their team are rushing out. I mean, one of them has a ghost, but they're making sure that their 2 top fraggers have the firepower to potentially try and win out this next pistol round. They know that SOR aren't really going to have anything to work with here. They're still going to be on solid pistols, so they're giving themselves as much of an edge as they possibly can. Now, we've still got the Cypher lurk, but who cares about the Cypher lurk, because KOLER is just going to run straight up long, get that first pick off, force the start of the rotation, but they're hanging out around the teleporters. I wonder if they take that, or do they actually get
Come on, let's go!
Oh well, here we go. They're going for the push with the run it back. No mercy for NRG here, as we talked about the buy being merciless, but now the plays are going to be merciless. Both Sova and Kehmicals fall. Poiz shortly after, and a very, very quick flawless round for NRG on the attack on Bind.
Yeah, I mean, that was over before I even had a chance to, like, process what happened. And that's the thing about those pistol rounds, man. And that's why you buy those 2 guns on that round. Now, that's not something that happens very often. Usually you see everybody just rocking like a Spectre, right? But this particular instance, they opted to go big or go home, and it worked out. It paid dividends. And now they still have those 2 guns, which means that they're slightly better off in this 3rd round, because as we can see, SOR fully bought up here with full rifles and full armor. So they're looking a lot better coming into this next round. But this is a slightly telegraphed push here from NRG. This is their default. They're rushing straight through towards the towards D.
Oh my, KOLER. Okay, KOLER does find a pick though, so for at least gets trade, and pushing out towards B. They did manage to get some kills, but backing off bit by bit. One takes the TP in daps, and the rest are just going to be slowly rotating. There is a big chance for Sova, who is pushing out back, or he might push out back from hookah over into B short, but looks like he's going to be taking that passively. If he does, there is a potential of some big kills here. Diamond holding just the exterior of lamps here with his phantom, waiting for some further information as to what NRG is plotting. And he's sadly on his own here, as there we go, that's the information he needed, and now his team is going to start rotating out. Daps placing the cyber cages just to allow for a potential plant, as we see some dashing onto the site, and they have lamp control here. No, not quite. Diamond is there, but once again there's a trade, so trades both times you have engagements over on this map now. 3 versus 3. As SOR does have the defense side here. 2 players holding out lamps, as poiz is going to be dropping down with the rest of the team. And daps does have a nice cam set up. eeiu finds Kehmicals as he tries to push in through lamps. And the bomb is ticking away whilst NRG NRG's chances of success just keep growing. Sova at least finding a very quick kill onto eeiu. And he's ready for the peek here, but he's not quite able to close it out as effys takes him down.
Great swing there to get that last little kill there. I was half expecting the double bait, half expecting them to take the teleporter back towards B site, but they had a really good read on the situation. They had a really good read on their control of the site, and they were able to push straight in, get that plant down, and that's it, easy peasy. And that brings us up to a 3-0 lead here. That kind of risky, not really risky, but the massive commitment that they put into giving those extra guns to KOLER and eeiu has definitely paid off here. And now they're looking really good just economically. They don't really have any ultimates to play with, neither side do, but they're getting really, really close. A couple more kills. I mean, effys is 1 kill away from his ultimate. Som, 3 points away. And if you can get the ult orb as well, that's going to really give a boost to that. The Hunter's Fury is really a big one to look out for, particularly on this map. You can really use it to clear out places like elbow or lamps you hold, depending on what call out you use. So there's a lot of great ultimates that can be utilized here, but we need to get a couple of pickoffs first.
And with pickups, KOLER over here with the Vandal. Kehmicals actually going to peek over here with the Sheriff. Doesn't quite land a shot, but manages to make it out with his life, even though there are 3 players holding B long there. And such passive play from NRG right now, which I don't think is going to last for all too long. But they know that the save is over on SOR side, yet they're still playing passive and slow. effys moving over onto site. They do have the spy cam as well. And oh no, Diamond, you're playing a dangerous
30 seconds
game.
left.
And Som is not going to let him continue with that at all. Holding the high ground, making use of the updraft as well as the dash just to reposition. Nature, that was a shot you would expect Nature to land, but not quite able to. Poiz with a Bucky pushing into land. And no, eeiu is so ready. eeiu gets more no. Kehmicals is going to end his absolute tear, and effys going to find the final 2 kills there. So, NRG still looking extremely good over on attackers and bind, and you love to see it, Nori. A huge adjustment from what we saw in Haven.
Yeah, they're looking a lot more collected, and I like that. I think that potentially Haven might just be a map that they're a little bit more uncomfortable on. I wouldn't be surprised if it was SOR's pick. I'm not 100% sure who picked which map. Unfortunately, we don't really have that information available to us right this second. But it would not surprise me in the least if that were the case, and that this were in fact NRG's pick, and they're doing phenomenal work here. I kind of mentioned how clean their rotations have been, how good their executions have been. They have such a good read on what SOR are trying to do, and of course having only 2 sites makes it a lot easier to handle than Haven. Finally, here's that Hunter's Fury that I spoke about a little bit earlier on. It does clear out a little bit of the site, not opting to use it for the U-haul, but it does clear out, create a little bit of space, try and clear out Heaven as well. They're still trying to push through onto this A side.
It seems like that's what they want to keep doing. They don't really want to adjust this whatsoever. 2 players only left for the side of NRG, and they say no adjustments. I mean, we do still see a Cypher on B just in case. But, oh wow, he does see Sova in lamps, but he's not going to be going onto that. Flash comes in, and Sova didn't actually get flashed there as lovely little jiggle there just to keep away from the flash and still land the kill. And looks like SOR are putting their number onto the scoreboard here as we move over to the 6th round. It's 4-1 favoring NRG.
That was a good round from SOR. They needed to get a point on the board there. A far more clean defense than what we have been seeing thus far. Now they just need to kind of keep up that momentum. They do need to be careful. I mean, looking at Kehmicals, he's down to his last 100 credits here. Of course, that will change when the round ends, but you always need to kind of have that in mind coming into these next rounds. The team can buy for him, thankfully. And bearing in mind SOR, they've got the Showstopper online, and they have a Hunter's Fury. Need to be careful, though. NRG, Som has that Blade Storm ready to pop at any second. We can actually see him pushing into hookah here, looking for potentially a good opportunity to utilize that, while the rest of the team makes a little bit of noise. Cypher is still down, so they're still waiting for the go-ahead to actually commit to a specific site, because it looks like it's not going to be B. They're going for that A push again. So they make a noise on B, head towards A, leave one person towards B site, continue making that noise, maybe let himself get spotted out, add to the confusion as they attempt to make their way onto the A site.
And by all means, quite a bit of utility that got used up over on B, and even more utility being used up as well, and some that doesn't recharge. But here we go, Showstopper coming down, and Poiz getting rid of some in the crossfire with that. Showstopper doesn't find the kill, but it's more than enough to give SOR the advantage over here, as effys going to be pushing out, but Kehmicals is so ready for that teleport play. Daps
30 seconds
showers,
left.
KOLER pushing out lamps.
Cloudburst.
Blocking sight.
And only 2 players left on NRG now, as they're scrambling to find out what they need to do. eeiu does find a kill on a player who is reloading in nature, which kind of against nature's
10 seconds left.
what we've seen before, the habits of nature. Been doing extremely well as a player just in raw aim and mechanical skill. So now actually not going for a plant here. I see bomb is actually over on B, just outside the teleporter, so just to save both teams keeping their distance.
Somehow I only just noticed that you have the same name as an ability in the game.
Unfortunately so.
Yeah, I don't often use the name Cloudburst in the game, and I call you Jesse, and then suddenly I was like, good Cloudburst, and then I realized that might have sounded slightly
Wait a
patronizing.
second. Yeah,
There you
it's
go.
extremely unfortunate, but it's the way it goes, and I make it my effort to call
No,
every
you had the name
jet
first.
smoke a cloudburst.
You had it first, so you know what? It's cool. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
I know, right?
NRG looking pretty good here. And again, they're going for the same kind of default. They're always heading with Som moving towards hookah. We get 2 pushing up long. And then, of course, Cypher all the way on the right-hand side, pushing up towards the A site. And this is a good position to have, waiting for a little bit of information before you actually push in. It looks like they might commit to the B site this time. Yeah.
Well, yes, that's definitely going to be it. Getting rid of that tripwire. We do see the run it back going 3, aggressively pushing through these cyber cages, and KOLER also picking up a kill off of it. Just gives so much access to sight. Okay, Diamond is making something happen with the Phantom here, though. We hear the Hunter's Fury coming out as well from Sova, and hoping to find a kill, which he does. effys falls down, and NRG had the sight, and in the same amount of speed that they got it, they just threw it away as they started losing players.
30
SOR
seconds left.
playing extremely well, getting rid of from the shadows. Daps going to be setting up a little bit here with some cyber cages, going to be giving them enough space to plant, and it's going to be a default by the truck. Daps is going to be able to watch the defender side push, as we have 2 pushing on the ground and 2 pushing in heaven. And no picks in sight just yet.
I love the way that NRG play this, having that Cypher push up onto A site. So SOR possibly need to leave one person on site, because now they're in this really strange retake situation. However, they take full control of that situation. Good grief. That was dominant.
I have to say, the way they pushed out, the way that they looked at multiple angles each as they pushed out, that was just so clean. So clean. SOR continuing to impress me, I have to say.
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching how they did that, because so I was talking about the daps. I nearly said dapper, wrong team. I was really enjoying the daps play. Funnily enough, it's the same agent. Anyway, the way he pushes up onto the A site, and then the whole of SOR will have started their rotation towards B, so there's no one on A to contest daps. SOR need to pick up on this. They need to leave at least 1 or 2 people on the A site to stop that lurk from coming through, because as soon as daps sends the information across to say, hey guys, A site's clear, the rest of the team rotates back or uses the teleporter. You see, this is it exactly. Daps realizes there's people that are onto his shenanigans, and now he's pushing. He's moving back towards the rest of his team, over towards the B site, and it looks like they are going to commit to that B site push. With the drone going out to get a little bit of information. There's trip wires all the way through elbow. There's a smoke on site, so this is really a retake play here for SOR. Now, this Omen gonna need to be very careful as he's all alone in elbow for the moment, and he's gonna need to hold things down while he waits for the rotation from the rest of his team.
Yeah, and very aggressive plays over here as well from effys, teleporting onto the top of the box here in the center. And diaamond picking up 2 players, gets a collateral over an elbow, and this is exactly what we're saying, playing for the retake, having those tripwires there, and it's working for them oh so well, as once again, SOR continue to impress. It seems like NRG setups that they're playing with, SOR is just avoiding all of them and playing their own game.
I think it's very telling to note that we look at the first map that we got to see, which was Haven, and a very decisive start for SOR, and NRG managed to claw it back, and it went a little bit more back and forth from that point on. And now we're seeing the reverse here on Bind. So NRG had a fairly decisive start, but SOR have started to claw it back. Now it comes down to, I wonder who's going to take this one, because now poiz has got that operator back in his hand, and he was terrifying on that previous map. Nature not doing the exact same amount of just crazy plays as we saw previously. Of course, he has swapped over from the Reyna onto the Raze instead. And the Raze does have a lot of potential. And this was a question I had about C9 not running the Raze on Bind. But the Raze gets a ton of value, particularly in this hooker area. You can see that's exactly where they're playing her. And it's getting results.
Oh wow, KOLER just jumped right into the blender of nature. Not quite able to do too much. Nature and Sova playing in a really nice partnered way as they hold hookah. Now eeiu wants to make something happen, of course. Is a 4v4. So there is still room for NRG to make something happen out of this, but no vision for Sova just yet. I'm pretty sure NRG are aware of where he is. Yeah, eeiu coming in with the Hunter's Fury, but not quite finding anything as effys almost loses that one. 5 HP left. Still has the Shadow Walk. Oh, Som's wanting to make something happen. I mean, look at the health differences between these players right now. NRG are going to struggle once they get into these intense gunfights. But SOR extremely split up. And
30 seconds
luckily
left.
on Bind you do have teleporters, which does speed up your rotations.
I kind of spoke about needing one person on A for in case of that lurk, and that is exactly what diaamond is. And with everybody on NRG being so incredibly low, it's just going to take 1 or 2 quick little hits into the body. Oh, unless Som does that. That is unfortunate for diaamond.
10 seconds
and
left.
That's going to allow the plant to come through.
Spike
And
planted.
poiz also using the Blade Storm here as well, so here's from the shadows. It depends where he goes, and he's actually opting to go all the way back to the defender's spawn. And you can see Kehmicals has to be ready for this. Otherwise we're going to get some crazy value coming out of it. Poiz just clearing up a little bit with those covers. Kehmicals almost gets a kill, but not quite able to. Poiz finds Som. And poiz sitting on
No charges left.
just a little bit damaged, but has to make something happen with these knives. Locations revealed off of the fake. And not gonna have time to defuse, but able to take down quite a few of NRG's players, at least able to even things out a bit as they lose around.
Those extra frags can be really, really important. I mean, we talk about it. Economy is super, super important in this game, and you can already see the results of that. KOLER, after buying up, is down to the last little 100 there. It's not ideal, and poor effys is going to be coming into this with light shielding, the light armor.
Here.
But Sova and poiz, this is very important to note, because we've got double operators on the field here. We've got one that's going to be on A, potentially in heaven, and then we got poiz, who's going to be chilling on B long, which is, you know, standard. But that's a ton of sightline denial, well, not sightline denial, but that's really good sightlines, a lot of space denial. And we're probably going to see some utility come out to try and bait shots to see if this is exactly where that operator is. Misses the shot. Oh, pixels.
Yeah, absolute pixels. I do like the way that they pushed up that. I'm pretty sure that they knew that there would be an operator holding that, of course, after seeing what poiz had available from the previous round of the save. And poiz just trying to get some more blind shots to try and scare them off, and scared them off he has, as KOLER is going to have to be pushing back out. And
Cage
there's
trigger.
another operator over here on Sofa, who of course is going to be holding the bathrooms angle, or actually he's adjusted to look over at short. So NRG has to be pretty careful with this, as they could be walking into once again another trap, although I take it back, as that trap isn't as bad as I thought. Taking the pick off over on Diamond.
Oh, that's unlucky. eeiu with the shoulder feet there. So easily in the crosshairs. It was a great utilization of the upload link, but it wasn't really enough. And now the counter upload link is going to come through. But NRG just doing so much work here. They're still at a man advantage.
Oh my word! They get confused.
Oh my goodness!
Didn't follow up on that
Nobody noticed
time.
poiz. It's fine though, because they took the two operators out of SOR's hands, and that's fairly massive. In fact, given that that was a game or a round with two operators, it's a fairly decent round, despite the fact that they did lose it. Now the scores are tied up. poiz is gonna, just grab that operator once again. He had money to burn, but there is only going to be one operator, and SOR is going to be coming in with the Guardian this time instead of a Phantom or a Vandal. There's a lot of one-tap potential there. Of course, it is a single fire gun. It's going to need to try and get a lot of value out of that one, but the operator is still in play. This time, however, it's up towards A. And NRG, with the same default that we've been seeing all along, they're going to be kind of flirting with B at the start, seeing if there's some potential there, and if not, we'll then move on to A side.
I mean, it's been working for them so far, so we have to see what adjustments they make with this time. And it seems like they're actually committing more into B before going for a rotate of any sorts. Of course, removing that tripwire that was placed out in long. KOLER does have vision, but not quite able to land. Oh, actually gets a dink there, but doesn't get the kill. It looks like they might be committing through to this B push, which Nori, we haven't actually seen yet. We've spoken about it a few times, but they tend to just back off, or at least try push when they're saving, but this is a full buy. Sova trying to see if he can get any cheeky shots here as well, as NRG is going to start pushing in. Some dashes in, and eeiu gets two rolls back, gets one more as well, and oh my word, we need to see more of this from NRG. Just that unbridled assault over onto the point.
That's what you call clean up. That was really, really, really well played there from those NRG players. And SOR are in such a bad position here because this is the last round before the half. We talk about this all the time. They set themselves up for that high-risk, high-reward play. It worked out really well for them in the last round on Haven. And this time, however, it did not. And now they're coming into this with a Judge, a Bucky, one Phantom, a Ghost. I mean, this is like the jankiest buy that you can imagine. And they're coming up against NRG's full buy. Massive gun advantage here. SOR do have the Hunter's Fury, and they're burning it so early. I would have expected them to hold on to it for a plant, but okay, cool. They take down KOLER. That's work.
Would you say with this buy from SOR that their arsenal is straight out of ranked?
Yikes.
Okay.
Get out. You're fired.
SOR picking up that early first kill on KOLER it actually opens so much for them in regards to how they can defend, how they can rotate, where they can place their players. And NRG needs to adjust to this as well, because Bolt's not able to find too much from SOR. And what is this peek from Som? Just absolutely stepping out there, spraying, finding the headshot, knowing that he's up close. Nature still sitting there with the Judge in hookah. This is going to be a very interesting retake, which Kehmicals managed to get a lovely headshot from effys, just hiding behind the little bit of wood there in hookah. eeiu does have the recon program as well. It's going to be quite important.
Oh, yeah. That's smoke
So many sprays and no kills.
Despite the gun deficit, SOR did fairly well there that round, but it's just not enough, right? And it doesn't really matter, because it's not one of those cases where it's like, oh, we did well on an eco, because, like, we're swapping sides now. Everybody's back down to their pistol rounds. Now, I've really got to hand it to NRG. That was a fantastic attacking round. They really showed that kind of clinical attack. There was a little bit of indecision, I felt, every now and then, you know, just trying to figure out exactly where they want to push and what they want to do. But once they had a plan in mind, the execution was very good. The rotations maintained, you know, they were really solid. Now, however, we've seen how strong they can be on defense and how well they can read rotations from SOR. But SOR had a fairly good attack round on Haven as well. In fact, they started to kind of pull quite far ahead on Haven. So they're going to need a repeat performance here. The score lines are so dangerously close between these two teams right now. And SOR, they want to win this out, because if they win this map, then that means they win the series, and they're going to go on up in the brackets.
Absolutely, and I mean, adding to your accolades that you sent NRG packing is definitely something that you won't be able to patch onto your jacket. So, already getting the plant, and NRG's defense is extremely slow, just letting them onto the site here to plant. And to be honest, I'm not too sure what they're actually going for here. That's quite a big paranoia as well. Daps trying to make something happen, but look at this, 3 kills picked up for SOR. Poiz coming in with 2, make it 3 for this round, and he finds a 4th so close to an ace, but his teammate takes it away from him.
Alright, clip that, chat. That's going in the highlight reel. Not mine. I mean...
But his.
His. I mean, 3 headshots, like one after the other. Damn! That is some seriously powerful play there. It's really fantastic work from Poiz. I mean, he's been a standout player throughout this entire series. Whether it's on the Operator, the Vandal, the Phantom, or apparently the Classic. He just built different, right? He's just performing out of his mind, and NRG really struggling here. Now they're coming into this next round. They're actually committing a little bit of funding and just buying that Bucky for Som to try and hold out in one of those close corners, see if he can get a pick off or 2. You know, sometimes you get the pick off the pick, you get the 2 kills there, and that can really open up a defensive site for you. But he has a chance to do that. He's going to hang out in the back of side here. They have kind of predicted that it's an A push. It is in fact an A push. But Kehmicals going to open this up with the first kill.
I mean, KOLER at least able to get a bit of a trade with the Sheriff here to take down some of the economy. But such an aggressive buy-up in from SOR just gives him so much value. NRG does pick up some more kills, which I did not expect them to be able to do. I'm talking about this value that they get, and seems like they're throwing it away a little bit. Nature does find one, and Kehmicals able to pick up the last one as they push in from opposite sides. And honestly, I did not expect for NRG to get 3 kills in that round there, considering what they actually bought. And now, I don't know, I feel like SOR are going to be struggling to buy up to what NRG has in their arsenal.
I mean, you should never doubt, right? I mean, sometimes we see the weirdest things. We saw like a really crazy high-risk, high-reward force buy on Haven a little bit earlier work out extremely well for SOR. We've seen some kind of janky plays work out as well. Sometimes you just gotta have a little bit of faith here. And I think NRG really need to have the faith, because their guns are not good coming into this next round. SOR looking real pretty at a 7-7 scoreline here. They're pushing up showers this time around, but they're starting that out with the Blade Storm. So they're looking for an aggressive push. They're not opting to push through showers. A lot of Jetts will do that and try and make some space through showers, but instead going to be pushing up A short. Quite a lot of utility has already been used. It's a smoke going all the way into the defensive elbow site there, as Kehmicals makes his way towards B. So a little bit of a fake, because the push is definitely coming through onto A.
Right away, Poiz. Omen just jumps into the Blade Storm, but not quite able to follow up onto Som, who finds the headshot. And now NRG at least tying it up 4-4, as SOR are going to be rotating through to B for an aggressive push. I don't think that they know that we have a Sova waiting out for them. So the rotate's already coming through for them as well. So NRG is able to turn this around where it matters. The bomb is planted, and 3v3 now. It isn't decided just yet, as though it's a bit of a nail in the coffin here as it becomes a 2v2 to retake. So eeiu is, as long as we can delay this, oh my word, but Nature picking up Som, and eeiu has to back off. Taking the fuse, 8 bullets left, does manage to find it. And it looks like eeiu's going to keep NRG on the advantage in the scoreline here.
That was so clutch from eeiu. That was fantastic work there. Just knowing exactly where he needed to aim his crosshair at any given time. And that last little 1v1 could have gone either way. This is looking a lot better for NRG here. That SOR. So they're forcing here, and you can see that. They have like no money left. But at the same time, so are NRG. This is like the weirdest situation for these two teams, as both of them are trying to get as much value as they possibly can out of the limited funds that they have available. Now, SOR have the Blade Storm and the Run It Back and the Hunter's Fury. Those are three massive ultimates. They started out with the Blade Storm. There's a Showstopper available for SOR. That's the Run It Back as well. We got every ultimate coming out at the exact same time.
Oh, updrafting, just slowly moving forward in the air there with the daggers, and that Blade Storm got a lot of work done. Sova has to make something happen big here, as he's going to be the first one to push out alongside his team. Poiz, not too sure where to stand, but look at the kill feed. I mean, just in a split second, you see SOR turning the tides of battle as they start pushing through the exterior tunnels here, probably going towards A now. And 2v3, I mean, NRG had that in the bag with the Blade Storm. Just too many smokes, too much utility being used. They weren't able to see exactly what was happening, and this is such a dangerous peak from effys. Backing off, definitely the right move here.
NRG don't have the numbers, so they're not going to try and push in too hectically. In fact, they're just pulling out entirely. And sometimes
30 seconds left.
That's the play. They're just going to allow the plant to come through,
Spike
hang on
planted.
to the few guns that they do have available. They've turned around. They're going for... Okay, yeah, I'm really glad that oh jeez. I thought we were gonna see them split up there and try and go for a pincer, and when you're the last two players standing, that is one of the most dangerous decisions you can make when you get split up like that. You can just get taken out so easily. So the two last players standing for NRG here are gonna stick together and save, you know, cover each other's backs. And this is super important, as I mentioned before, you know, both of these teams were on really, really strange buys, and I think they will have been able to hold on to some decent guns. I mean, already we can see daps is holding onto a Phantom. I'm not sure what else they would have been able to hold on to. They didn't, however, manage to hold on to their ultimates. And that's really unfortunate, because a lot of stuff went into this round. They put money into this round. They invested ultimates into this round. They did manage to hold on to the Hunter's Fury, but both the Run It Back and the Blade Storm got popped there. And despite a lot of value coming through from Som right at the start, the follow-up just wasn't available, and they couldn't win out the round. SOR, on the other hand, they're coming through into this next round, and they're going to have the Showstopper. I mean, this is a pretty big ultimate. Whether it gets results or not, it's great for zoning, for pushing people out of an area. You want lamp control? You throw a Showstopper into it. Whether it kills someone or not, you force them out of lamps, and so you take control of it. It's super useful. No way.
Wait, talking about... Oh wow, it's going through the back of lamps. Okay, it doesn't actually find any damage. A little bit low on the aiming there, but they get the kill regardless. Absolutely. Getting lamps controls there, and SOR, well, Diamond's holding an interesting angle here. effys can find a way to turn around him, potentially get some more kills. SOR, really, really nice initiation, great execution, but it still didn't pan out for them. And oh, Diamond, just a little bit too tight on the control there. And adjustments weren't quite there with the spray control. Almost having a little bit of a turnaround there, but not quite. And economy on either side is still a little bit shaky, but NRG is definitely looking a lot better, as they are also one round up on SOR now. But
I called
still,
that Showstopper.
Oh, you did, absolutely. You knew it.
But I was expecting a round win off the back of that, so it was a little unfortunate. And now we're gonna see SOR kind of saving. Excuse me. They want to make sure that they still have some money to play with, so they're coming through with like some sheriffs here. But don't diss the sheriff. You can get so much done with that gun. It is absolutely ridiculous. Unless Som has the drop on you, in which case...
KOLER has the drop on you?
Yeah, I mean, in which case you're not going to get much done. If you have the drop on someone, you'll delete them. If they know you're there, well... not quite gonna go the way you would have wanted. And yeah, I mean, this being an eco round, it's going about as well as we would have expected.
Oh yeah, I mean, already finding KOLER is at least something that they can ride off of in the next few rounds. Som,
enemy
of course,
remaining.
just holding the angle here. Only one player left. They might even hunt this player down. Sitting with the stinger and gets the kill though. This is actually pretty good for SOR now. If he used from the shadows there, I would have been a bit skeptical, but at this point, I really don't want to doubt any of the SOR players because they're going to do some crazy ranking moves, but it's crazy enough that it might just work.
I mean, sometimes that's what you need, right? You just need a little bit of crazy, balance it out, and just propel you that little bit more forward. I mean, that's kind of how I see Raze. When she starts like blast packing around the place, that's just some crazy. And it works. So just add a little bit of spice to your life. I don't know where I was going with that.
Oh, no, I think it's great. We all need that in our lives.
We all need me losing the plot in our lives. I mean, that's fair. That's valid. It's a thing
I mean,
that
it's
is happening.
entertaining. I'll give you that much.
Yep.
So,
Not as entertaining as
now?
this match.
oh, by all means, NRG once again opting for this B. It's almost like a bit of a light push,
Beeline.
trying to see what's happening.
Ah.
A bit of a beeline to the point. But this Hunter's Fury coming in from Sova, shooting towards A, almost giving away their position on B. I'm not too sure about that. Poiz jumps in, but down
unlucky.
back but finds the headshot. And he's going to be trying to find some more kills over here as well, just dancing through the cloudburst and not quite able to close it out of there. eeiu is going to have to back off a bit as they are down one player between these two teams. And the swap out for the Phantom does not work out for Nature, as Sova does find a kill, but it's one player on NRG. If he can potentially make something happen here.
Oh.
effys on his own, not where you want to be. Does get revealed to remove the dart. Already used Paranoia, so he doesn't have that flash. But he needs to be very ready for this. And Jeez! Okay! I said
Okay,
lovely
dude.
clutch.
effys
effys,
is just built different.
Absolutely. Oh, that's a clutch if I haven't seen one before, Nari.
I mean, it was crazy because NRG, they had such good elbow control there, and it looked like they were going to take control of site. But SOR managed to push onto site and push NRG back, get those kills off. And when it's just that last person standing, I mean, effys, such good control, utilization of that utility. The paranoia going out, the smoke going out, denying sight lines. Knows he's in a 1v2 situation, knows that if he just pushes straight out, he's going to have two people firing at him from two different angles. So he tries to block some sight lines, and that flick was so magical to get that pick off. Now we've got yet another kind of weird janky buy coming out here as the run it back comes through, gets a little bit of information, and the swing from eeiu is so good that it's completely shut down SOR. And this round has just started.
I absolutely love that. Seeing players correctly use the run it back alongside a teammate pushing out with them and them getting all those kills. It's just so beautiful to watch, and seeing that operator holding exactly where it needed to over on B long. Sova, don't know if he's gonna be able to do much, but I mean, if he can get a pick, I'll be impressed.
Take flight.
But NRG looking to move over to match point here, Nori.
Yep, and that's going to potentially take us to a third map. We'll just bear that one in mind. And NRG, they really need to win out this map. They're going to continue with such a dominant play here. Oh, man, that was unfortunate for poiz. He had the blades waiting for somebody to walk out so he could get that kill. But nope, NRG are going to bring this up to match point. And if they win this one out, like I said, we're going to be going to a map 3. NRG fighting tooth and nail to get into the top seed, or into the qualifier in general, into that closed qualifier. I mean, all of his homies are in the qualifier, you know, all those big orgs are there. NRG just wants to be part of the crew.
Let us hunt.
And of course,
They're
SOR are
holding
looking for
onto the
every
bars.
opportunity to yoink it.
Yeah, NRG holding on the bars, yelling, "Let me in!" trying to get in here. But I'll tell you right now, SOR, sure they're staring down match point, but I don't think that they're gonna go down without a fight. Nature gonna be slowly pushing through hookah here. And KOLER, we haven't actually seen hold that angle himself. It's usually been one of the other players on the team holding that. So might just work out as they do have each other's crossfires in case there is an aggressive push. Kehmicals wrapping all the way back from spawn in case there's an aggressive push from any of NRG's members. But right now, they are playing it safe. They know what is on the line. They know what they have to do to grab this win and keep it.
And they've brought up as well. There's even an operator in play here. And, an attack operator is very difficult to get a lot of value out of. But we'll see if they can make something happen. Poiz. Oh no. Setting screen popping. That's unfortunate. Bladestorm
Poiz
comes
and
out.
Kehmicals finding the kills.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2 kills already for SOR. Plus, they still have 2 ultimates to play with here. Looking good to take this round.
KOLER a little bit wary on where to push here. effys has a pretty good angle as well from heaven, but of course SOR definitely know what is happening here. Nature tries to use the blast pack here to get a bit of a peek, able to keep that accuracy whilst flying back. And KOLER is the one that pushes out. Kehmicals of course gets the kill, and eeiu and Sova doesn't want anything from KOLER. It is now up to just effys, and sadly, compared to what we saw last round, he just didn't have his clutch boots on. He wasn't able to end it up there.
And again, just the crazy back and forth nature of this match. It's been so much fun to watch. And I'm very curious to see what the buys are going to look like this round, because of course NRG are off the back of a loss. And now this is one of those times where, okay, they don't need to save. They could have afforded to save if they wanted to, but they're opting not to. And okay, Kehmicals is going to have the operator this time. NRG, super fluid with who gets to use the operator. And I like that style of play. I think that allows you... Okay, no, he just gave it to someone. Man. Yes! He slightly moved that mouse. This is that micro movement.
Both of them not able to hold it out, and that was a pretty big Hunter's Fury actually. There is so much covered from that. There's a lot of damage being applied to these players. Diamond, going to be using from the shadows to get into the back side of NRG. And could be dangerous for daps if he actually decides to back off here, as he could be shot in the back at any moment. Diamond lurking, doing exactly what an Omen should. The rest of SOR slowly but surely pushing, and he finds not just one, he finds 2, opens up the poiz, and a flawless round, as NRG have been on match point for 2 rounds now. SOR are bringing it back.
The important thing to note here is every round that they lose is a round that damages their economy slightly. And yeah, this is kind of the last round that they're going to be able to buy much of anything. I mean, even saying that, KOLER is going to, looks like he's going to be rolling out with a sheriff, and effys just with the classic. Now, this is potentially a round where you might want to full save so that you have guns for the next round, but they're thinking 2 steps ahead because they know that, you know, it's 10 to 12. So they want to, they're just thinking that much further ahead to make sure that should this go to a match point situation in favor of SOR, you know, bringing us into the overtime, that they're going to have as much weaponry as possible. That drone just flies straight over daps.
They don't daps. He's able to peek, but he gets taken out. Nature is just built differently. Okay, so SOR are seriously bringing this back. This is the 3rd round that NRG is sitting over on the match point. They're putting it up to 11 if they manage to keep this one, unless we see something absolutely mental coming through here for some, which, I mean, it is possible, but this is a hard ask. A 1v4 and Kehmicals with the operator not gonna entertain that for a single moment.
Bearing in mind it was an eco round, so, well, not full eco, eco adjacent. We're gonna see Som potentially saving up here. Nah, he's going for the buy. I thought he might save up for the operator, but no, we're going for the buy here. They don't want to allow SOR to take this next round, because if they do, then it goes into overtime. And we know what happens with overtime. You have to win by 2 points. NRG are going to want to try and take this next round in a clean sweep. Let's see if they can actually manage to make that happen. Of course, if they do lose this, then we go into some shenanigans that we saw a little bit earlier on. Who knows? Maybe it's the round 36 2.0. The showstopper's going to come out.
If Nature does not want to have this happen, is pushing out with the showstopper, giving up so much space, allowing for quite a bit of side control, and These players are so close to each other. Daps finding a kill and actually backing out with his life. Nature, NRG know exactly where he is, but down a player right now, and seems like we're going to be seeing a 3v3, equalizing it thanks to eeiu. Diamond in lamps. KOLER wants to push out. He doesn't manage to get it. They swing together, and it looks like we are going to be seeing an overtime, Nori.
It's happening.
Okay, let me just humor you for a
Switching
bit.
sides. Overtime.
If SOR manage to take this, they're going to be sending NRG packing. NRG will... They did not pass go. They did not pick up their 50,000. They get sent home.
50,000? What the hell of Monopoly are you playing?
Well, I was playing the number, like, I'm pretty sure that's close to the prize pool we're talking. The prize pool,
fair
I'll have to double check.
Oh, you okay. I thought you were like trying to go with the actual Monopoly number, and I was like, what the hell Monopoly are you playing, man? Zimbabwean Monopoly? Okay, no.
Oh, wow.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. If
Gonna
they
make
do
it
actually
African
manage
no.
to, I mean, yeah, before too long, it could be South Africa Monopoly. All right, well, let's bring this back. Both of these teams started out this round with 5,000 credits. Now, this is where economy means nothing. It's all about that strategy. It's all about how you play mind games with the enemy team. It's all about how you've practiced this. It's all about how hard you click, to be honest. Can you outgun the enemy team? These are some really, really important notes here, because you're coming out of the gate on equal footing in terms of your equipment and loadout. So let's see which team is going to come out on top when everything is fairly evened out.
I mean, right away, what we're seeing from NRG is this aggressive B push, and it looks like this is where they're going to be committing it. So they have a 5v3 going into this, but they don't quite have the angles that gives them the advantage they want, and SOR holding back. I mean, there's no economy bonus you get for planting the bomb here, and having this player in hookah right now is nature. Of course it's going to be our headshot machine, our walking highlight reel for straight out of ranked. And finding the first pick of overtime, exactly what he wants to put under his belt. Sova gonna be pushing through aggressively. KOLER doesn't find one, finds two, they line up, and Som takes out poiz as well. We hear the run it back coming out. Som dashes into the corner, nature backs off, and it looks like NRG gonna be one round up as they start off on the attack.
Switching sides.
I love how, so every round of overtime, you start with the same number of ult points and the same number of cash. And KOLER, like, built up the run it back in that one round, and then just burnt it for style points. But to have been able to build up the run it back, to be able to get that many kills plus ult orbs and everything, yeah, I mean, that's pretty useful. Now, in that particular instance, the run it back wasn't necessary. They were able to win out that round just, you know, on their own merit. But had they needed that run it back, it would have been vital and instrumental to have had that available. Now, as you said, they swap sides. NRG going to be defending here. And they're going to be trying to win out this round and take this to the map 3 that we all know that they so desperately want.
I don't even think it's a case of desperately wanting it. It's what they desperately need to keep their hopes of first strike alive. As right away, so much noise on A. And moving directly back to B. 3 players for NRG defending A, and we could potentially see a lurk from daps as he starts pushing through to the backside of B, and nature aggressively pushes, but KOLER's the one who gets the headshot, and once again NRG in the lead, and KOLER managing to find some really nice shots here with the sprays he's able to lay out. Diamond just holding on top of the bomb here as we see adjustments from SOR. Quite a nice recon dart, getting just enough information. Actually going to peek this. Why would you do that? Som finds the kill, and poiz on his own. NRG are going to be closing out bind, and we're going to be seeing a tiebreaker on Ascent.
I mean, amazing to note that we both get, like, both matches that we've had today go to a 3-map series. It's very rare that you'll see that, particularly so early on in a qualifying bracket, but it's really exciting to see that they are